Alright, how's it going? So we got the big one tomorrow, right? Beterbiev, Bivol. It's the eve before the fight. You know, really looking forward to this fight. It's very rare to get this sort of fight, you know, two undefeated guys for undisputed. We got it with Usyk and Fury, and this is another one, you know, it's a very rare fight. You know, I've been thinking about how this fight will play out. And for me, I think it's going to be basically a firefight. I think it's going to be a war. The reason I say that is that I don't believe that Bivol will be able to do what he normally does, right? Bivol is a very, very good boxer. And every guy he's been in there with, he's dictated the pace, he's dictated the fight, he's controlled the fight with everyone he's been in with. I think Beterbiev is different. I think Beterbiev, the power and the boxing ability to cut off the ring, you know, the power he has, everything that Beterbiev has, I think is bad news for Bivol. You know, I know that Bivol, he's got some decent wins. You know, he's got some decent wins against good opponents. Joe Smith Jr., Pascal, Ramirez, Canelo. But with Canelo was far too small, as I said in my previous video about this fight. Canelo, everyone that Canelo fights at 168 is bigger than him. So Canelo is a small 168 pounder. He stood no chance against Bivol, right? Whereas Beterbiev actually has a reach advantage over Bivol. Beterbiev is a natural light heavyweight. If not, he could be fighting at cruiserweight. So Beterbiev, you know, a completely different animal to Canelo. So I think the way this fight's going to play out is Beterbiev is going to really come after Bivol. I know that he always does that, right? He's a seek and destroy fighter. That's his fighting style by nature. But I think there's extra in this fight for a few reasons. Firstly, I don't think he likes Bivol. You know, I've been looking at a few of his interviews and different things, you know, when they faced off that time where they were both in their suits, their tuxedos. I'm not sure where that was, but, you know, Beterbiev said something, you know, like Bivol talks about fighting, but he won't fight. This was a while ago before the fight was made. Yeah, Beterbiev, he seems to have something against Bivol. And maybe all it is, right, is that Bivol is a fellow Russian and a younger man than him, so he sort of looks down at Bivol, which could be a dangerous thing. But I feel like Beterbiev is more like an older brother. He sees Bivol like a younger brother that he's got to put in his place. You know, that's the way I see it. And I think Bivol sees Beterbiev sort of like an older brother. You know, he spoke about how he came into the Russian boxing team, and Beterbiev was more of a leader, you know, a few years older, a leader in the team. and all of that. So I think Bivol was a bit intimidated by Beterbiev, and Beterbiev sees Bivol like I said, like a younger brother that he needs to sort out. So I think mentality-wise, Beterbiev has the advantage. The thing with Eddie Hearn as well, Eddie Hearn calling Beterbiev arrogant, that's the first time I've seen Beterbiev, take offense to something and have a angry reaction. You shouldn't poke the bear, as they say. I mean, there's boxers or fighters that you can take advantage of by getting angry. Billy Joe Saunders got under David Lemieux's skin, for example, and that worked in his favor because Lemieux was throwing big punches. But Lemieux doesn't have the intellect, the skill that Beterbiev has. When you get a guy like Beterbiev angry, a guy that can actually box, that knows how to box, all that's going to do is make him more focused, and being the big puncher that he is, he's going to be focused on really breaking Bivol, I think. That's the way I see it. I think that Beterbiev is going to come after Bivol early on, round 1 or round 2. I think he's just going to put pressure on Bivol, relentless pressure. And I think that he's going to have success. I don't think Bivol is going to be able to box his way to a win. I think Bivol is going to find himself backed up against the ropes, tired, hurting. I think Bivol is going to be put in a position for the first time in his career where he has to fight. Things are going to be taken out of his control in this one. That's what I think. I think Beterbiev is going to take control of the fight, force Bivol into a firefight, and then we see what sort of fight is in Bivol. I know there's fight in him. He's not going to give up easy. But to give my final prediction on this one, I'm going Beterbiev, round 7, stoppage. That's the way I see it. Let me know what you think.